Okay, as you can see, we are this far through this rug. I'm calling him my Aztec warrior god, tobacco god, dude. Looks like two cigars up here. Does to me. Anyways, oh yeah, okay, well, we're starting the video at this point because I accidentally deleted all the footage I had of making this one. So this is where we're at. We're just going to take it from here, do a few finishing steps, and then I'm going to show you the end result. Alright? Have a good day. Peace. Okay. At this point, obviously glued the rug, and I'm going to go ahead and I let it set for 12 hours after I put that Roberts 3095 glue on there. I let it set for 12 hours until it gets tacky, but still, yeah, it's tacky. And now we got to go ahead and cut her down, so that's what we'll do. At this point, I cut around and I leave about an inch and a half on there to flip over. Okay, now it's important too, I'm letting that hang for a second so I can get over here. But you don't want to let two tacky sides touch. If two tacky sides touch, you're in trouble. It's going to end up pulling, and it's going to pull rug out, yarn out of one side or the other as it pulls, because the two tacky parts are not going to pull apart, they're going to stay together. I like to let mine stay tacky because the backing that I'll put on this will completely adhere to this and make like an Oreo sandwich where the front yarn actually glues to the back of it, and therefore you don't have yarn coming out when you're vacuuming later. It's a nice bond. Lay it down and we'll get started from there. Gonna finish trimming this. Hey, puppy. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Alrighty. Now, one of the reasons I like to leave this tacky too is because when I fold this over, this will bind right to that tear, right to this too, and help hold this in. Then later we'll do spray on contact cement for the other part that's not glued into the rub. That's what we don't want. Okay, let's throw some non-skid backing on here. Hi, puppy. Okay, for this I use this. It's got rubber floral pattern on the one side, and where are we at here? Can't even see where I'm at. There we go. It's got a little floral pattern, and that on the back, felty on the back. But that makes it so it doesn't slip and slide on these kind of floors. I just go ahead and lay my piece down. Make sure I've got about a 2-inch overlay on each side. I'll use that later. Then, once we've got it down there and pretty flat, which that's what we've got going on here, is I just put my hand in the center, mash, that's going right into that tacky glue now. And from there, I just walk it out. And it's grabbing that tacky glue again, and now you can see right there I've got a nice flat surface. I do it all the way around. And that back is now, like I said, making a little Oreo cookie and gluing this whole thing together. Okie dokie. Trim me off some excess going on here. Again, I like to leave a 1.5, 2-inch overlaying just to make sure I'm not cutting anything short and screwing things up. This camera. Okay. At that point, I like to flip it over, get my back there on the flat ground, and I go around and mash everything in. Go around the edges first. And again, now this is mashing that tacky glue right into the backing fabric, and everything's becoming one nice glued together unit. I like to do this just to make sure it's getting a good tack. Call this the tack dance, I guess. Tack dance. Tack dance. Okie dokie. And from there, I'm going to let it sit. Periodically walking on it. Because again, it takes about 3 weeks or a month for that glue to fully cure inside there for some reason. It still stays rubberized in that, but it takes that long to cure. So I always tell people, you know, obviously without your shoes on, but for the first month you've got it, leave it on a flat surface and walk on it a lot. Because all you're doing is, again, making everything bind together, and once it does solidify, you've got a rug that won't be coming apart, and nor will yarn be coming out. Okay, we'll check back in a minute. Check back in with our quality control officer, huh? Yeah. I love you, Opie. Okay. Now, we're ready to move on. We've got that back on there. But as you can see on the edges now, where I flipped that over, of course, the back is not adhering to the glue. And we need to fix that. And what I like to use is this here Gorilla Glue. I don't get no sponsorship for this. Spray adhesive heavy duty. And right. Get a nice coat on there all the way around. And something I like to do is get out here a little bit farther into the inside, because I want to make sure that this glue is grabbing some of this too, some of the frayed stuff. It just helps when you trim it, it gives it a better look at the end. Mash it all down like that. I'll end up, when I'm doing it all the way around, I'll flip it over and I'll walk it through. I'll just do it. I like to flip it over, and then to make sure I'm getting all that frayed stuff, I just work this down. And then go all the way around the rug and let it set for a little while, and we'll trim it up from there. All right. Okie dokie. It's all dried up now and everything, and at this point, I'd like to go ahead and trim all the way around here. I got me some fancy little carpet scissors. And when I'm doing this, I'll show you. I'm taking off just a little bit of the stuff. And what that does is, then see, it gives you a nice clean edge where everything's glued right together. I like it. All right. This side trimmed up here. And you'll see we grabbed a little bit of yarn all the way down, and it gives us a nice edge all the way. Heck yeah, I like it. All right, we're gonna go all the way around the rug, and we'll touch back again in a minute. Whatever I said. Okay, at this point, this is where we break out the big guns. We're going to go ahead and shear this thing flat so that everything's nice and smooth. And just wanted to show you that in its state right now, I hope you can see this, everything is rough and uneven. But when we're done, we will have smoothness. Okay, let's get to shearing. Okay, I got about half of it done. One thing I wanted to show is that when I'm using this bad boy, I stay away from the edge. I leave like 2 inches or more on the edge. I'll do that. I'll finish that with my fine little clipper things. But the reason I stay away from the edge is because I've seen in other people's videos where you get this bad boy too close to the edge, it ends up pulling up the carpet into it, and you take a big chunk right out of it. So we don't want that, so I stay away from that just to avoid it. And then secondary, I wanted to show you what, see now that's with it sheared, and then you can see the difference, most definitely. And that's what gives it the professional clean cut. It ties all the images in better too, because all the frays are gone. But anyways, I swear by this machine, that's for sure. There's an edge of, you can see the complete line there, as well as like here. Alrighty, we'll finish this up and get to the next step. Okie dokie. To get this little edge here, I use this little guy. He's pretty cool. I like him a lot too. Does a real good job. Okay, with that, you can clearly see, well, I hope you can, where it finished that all up. I don't know if you can see it. I feel like you can. Oh yeah, I guess you can there. And that flats all this down then. And then the last thing we'll have to do is go around it with the scissors and trim this. But I got to finish up the whole outside of it, and as soon as I do that, we'll get to using the clippers on it. Alrighty, get the idea.